Federal employees are probably getting pretty anxious to know how the 2026 federal pay raise is going to impact their annual salaries next year. And while the pay raise is still not yet finalized, I can give you a pretty good preview of how things are going to look for you next year. But before I get into that, let's recap where we stand today. President Trump issued his alternative pay plan letter back in August. And it was a bit of a surprise because the assumption was that there probably wasn't going to be a pay raise in 2026 for federal employees. And that's because when the White House issued its budget proposal earlier in the year, it was silent on the matter of a pay raise for federal employees. But it did talk about a pay increase for members of the military. And traditionally, the the White House budget blueprint will put forth a pay raise for federal employees. So that was the assumption. But then when the president issued his alternative pay plan letter in August, he proposed a 1% pay increase for most federal employees. And under the stipulations of that letter, it included no extra increase for locality pay. So just a flat 1% across the board average pay raise. But it did have a bit of a surprise for some federal employees because the President Trump proposed a 3.8% pay increase for certain categories of federal employees in law enforcement positions. And that was to match the 3.8% pay raise being given to members of the military. Now, with all of that in mind, FedSmith has created an estimated 2026 GS pay scale and published it on our website to give you an idea of the impact that the projected pay raise will have on your annual salary for next year. It features the general schedule base pay table reflecting both a 1% and a 3.8% pay increase. Now, one important caveat, it is just an estimate. The pay tables won't be finalized until the pay raise is finalized when the executive order is issued a little bit later this month. And we will, of course, be publishing the finalized figures as soon as they're available. But it does give you a pretty good idea of the impact the pay raise would have on your annual salary. And I'll be sure to include a link to it in the description below so you'll have easy access to it. Now, what should you expect in the pay raise process going forward? Well, as I said, President Trump is going to issue an executive order later this month. That's the last step in the process, and that will finalize the 2026 pay raise. After that, the Office of Personnel Management will issue the finalized pay tables for next year. And FedSmith will have all of this information as soon as it's available, so please keep checking back for updates, not only here on the channel, but on our website, fedsmith.com as well. So please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel to get updates here. And you can visit our website anytime, and we even have a free email list you can sign up for on there to get updates in your inbox. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.